The role of scapegoat within a dysfunctional family is to carry the burden, sickness, dysfunctional behaviors, and all consequences of poor choices of the entire group without appreciation or reward. One of the most damaging lies told to the family member who is scapegoated is that they are obligated and responsible to continue to play this dysfunctional role for life, or they will suffer additional punishment. Next point. The family member who has been scapegoated will continue to play the dysfunctional role until or unless they become aware that they are not in fact responsible, nor are they obligated to do so. That's a hell of a burden to place on anyone, but this is often the case when it comes to dysfunctional families and a family member who is scapegoated. They are to carry all the sickness, all the burdens, everything that makes the family dysfunctional, all the dysfunctional behaviors, all of the poor choices that everyone in the family has done. Okay, this particular family member who is scapegoated is to carry the weight of that without appreciation from other family, without reward. In other words, you're used like toilet paper. You are used like a toilet. Okay, that's it. Most of the lies that are told, okay, within a dysfunctional family is very damaging. But I'm going to zero in on the particular lies that is told to the family member who is scapegoated. See, another set of lies are for that particular family member. It is very sick, it's very sadistic. But overall, the dysfunctional family unit, they operate off of secrets, dirty secrets, lies, hush hush, certain family members conspiring with one another to go against other family. Okay, very sick stuff going on here. It is the gift that keeps giving to the cluster B personality and the narcissist in the family, which is sometimes the parents. Narcissistic parents. It's not always a narcissistic parent. It's sometimes a caregiver. Sometimes it's a unit whereas you have an elderly person who is being cared for, yet they are playing the role of a dysfunctional scapegoat, or a dysfunctional role that is scapegoated. All right, sometimes it's an elderly. It's not always a person who is a child within a dysfunctional family. Sometimes there's an elderly person. The scapegoated family member is bullied into this sick dysfunctional role for the rest of their life. So if they continue to believe that lie, that role will be continued to be played by the scapegoated family member. Only thing that has to happen is that that family member who has been scapegoated, the only thing they have to do is to continue to believe that lie. All right, so that's pretty much all it takes. But that is the most damaging lie out of all the lies that are told. See, a dysfunctional family unit, period, they spew lies, they spread lies, gossip, rumor, instigating fights, pitting one family member against another. The conspiring takes place when family members come together energetically, spiritually, physically, in the guise of sexual activity. The family member who has been appointed scapegoat is usually appointed by a narcissist or a family member who has a cluster B personality, often a parent. Not all the time, but often. Becoming familiar and accustomed to playing the dysfunctional role of scapegoat will prove to be challenging to stop, especially if done for a long period of time. Enmeshment with other family is often one of the main reasons for this challenge. Oftentimes, addiction to playing this dysfunctional role develops for the scapegoated. Enmeshment with other family members is very often why the scapegoated family member finds it very hard to stop doing so. No one can tell the family member who has been scapegoated how to stop. this dysfunctional behavior. And this is due because of the addiction. See, you can't tell an alcoholic they're an alcoholic. Think about it. A person who's addicted, see, they're not going to stop getting their drug of choice until they decide they're going to stop. When sincerity happens, so does awareness. Again, you can't tell an addicted person that they are addicted. They're going to look at you like you have two heads. So, therefore, you cannot tell them how to stop. Someone who is being scapegoated within his or her family, 9 times out of 10 chances, because of their being addicted to being such, you cannot tell them how to stop. All right. Then they will see how to stop playing the role of scapegoat. All right. When sincerity happens, so does awareness. And it is only then they will be able to see how to stop playing the role of scapegoat. Let's move on. Examples. Systematically breaking down the scapegoated family member repeatedly is vital in order for the other family to continue to feed. The dysfunctional family is the perfect group or unit for narcissists to obtain sources of supply. Oftentimes, the family member who is scapegoated is chosen because they are the strongest and the healthiest of the family. The scapegoated must be made sick to make the dysfunctional family comfortable. When this happens, the sickness becomes an addiction for the scapegoated. This is not all the time, but is often the case. The dysfunctional family then gets to continue to deny the dysfunctional behaviors that makes the family sick. The scapegoated family member is infected with addiction and the sickness of the entire family due to the methodical execution of the narcissist to switch identities with the scapegoated. The narcissist is loved, understood, and supported by family, while oftentimes the scapegoated is demonized without remorse from the family. Pause. Let me go ahead and say some things on these examples. I know that was a lot, guys, but we can get through it, okay? I want to thank you all who are still with me. Thank you. All right. Now, systematically breaking down the scapegoated family member. That means psychologically, mentally, emotionally, breaking them down, making them sick so the rest of the dysfunctional family members can feed off of that one family member who has been scapegoated. All right. And of course, the narcissist is the head honcho of this entire operation. And of course, they're getting off on it because they have sources of supply from doing such a thing. They're the ones who operate the whole setup. The narcissist does this. Oftentimes, the family member who is scapegoated is chosen because they are the strongest and the healthiest. Okay, pause. Oftentimes, the scapegoated is the one who sees the sickness in their entire family and who is willing to face the truth. And not only that, they are willing to tell the truth. Think about it, guys and gals. See, scapegoated family members are the ones who are deemed the troublemakers because they will rock the boat. They will tell the truth. They will point out that fat pink ass elephant in the middle of the room and say, look at that pink elephant in the middle of the room. See, the scapegoated family member is the one who is not afraid to tell the truth, see the truth, and face reality of what makes the dysfunctional family a dysfunctional family. Everyone else in the dysfunctional family is getting off and getting benefited from the sickness, and they continue to choose to invest in a sick dysfunctional family because they get some sort of benefit out of it. The scapegoat is not having that. This is exactly why the scapegoated often is the one who is chosen. Sometimes, and also often, the scapegoated is chosen by the narcissistic parent because the narcissistic parent will not face his or her own wounds. The scapegoated family member reminds them of how vulnerable they really are. Speaking of the narcissist doesn't like to face their own demons, their own faults. They don't like to look and face the fact that they're just human like everyone else. The scapegoated family member reminds them of that. So here we have it. The scapegoated family member is infected with addiction and the sickness of the entire family. The narcissist, as I said, is the head honcho. They set all of this up. So symbolically, they do switch places with the scapegoated family member. The narcissist is very methodical. So they execute this almost to perfection. It is sick how they do it, but they do it. So when the scapegoated family member is infected with sickness and is addicted, the narcissist can sit back and get their sources of supply for long periods of time. So they can bask in their victory. Okay? Because they have done the switcheroo. The narcissist was successful in switching identities, assuming and hijacking the identity of the scapegoated family member. Now, I'm not telling you all this to say all hope is gone and that means that if this is you, your life is over. No, no, no. Tools. Take inventory of your relationships. Be honest about how you are treating yourself versus how others are treating you and your family. Become financially literate. Incorporate a healthy lifestyle. Check your ego. Go to the source. Checking your ego means that you don't continue to walk around thinking that you are the only person that this type of tragedy has happened to. And then at the same time, don't belittle what you've gone through. Just know that you're not the only one. So check your ego. Don't continue to think you are a victim. Go to the source. That means look at what has happened in your family. Go all the way back to your childhood if you have to. Really take inventory of your dysfunctional family. Look at it. Stop idealizing it. Become financially literate. Self-explanatory. Take inventory of your relationships. Be honest about how you're treating yourself, how others in your family are treating you. So if you're treating yourself well and some others in your family continue to treat you as scapegoat, well, there's a conflict. That means you have some choices to make. Okay? You have to decide, are you going to continue to operate as scapegoat, believe in the lie that was told you, or are you going to go ahead and take action, radical action, move forward, build a support base, build your blueprint up first, then do a support base. Start working that support base. Move forward.